I have a great topic. Shoot that guapo. Anyway, everybody's favorite talking video analysis guy, race car driver, Leon Massey said, if you're bad at fighting games, I want you to talk more about them, and then posted a twit longer. And he put the long in twit longer. I clicked on it and I was like, hell yeah, new players. And then I was like, all right, new players. I was like, all right, new players. I don't know about all this. This is, you guys are going, these guys are talking too much. And the gist of it is, hey, if you're new or you're bad at fighting games, or you think you're not very good at fighting games, and things bother you, tell people, because people find it interesting and it helps people who are new or experienced understand your struggles. I think that's a great point. You know that beginners come to my stream all the time and they ask questions. Earlier in the stream, I implanted a subliminal test on you guys. I said, I saw somebody post about that on Reddit that was like, why is it that in versus games or like team games, the roster is always so much bigger? Like, what's the deal with that? A simple question that a new player might have. Well, my chat room was like, who the fuck would ask such a dumb question? Duh, the answer is obviously there's more characters on a team. You need a bigger roster. Like, why couldn't you think of that, moron? Actually, not very many people in my chat were that mean. Only a few of you. But that's something to think about, isn't it? Your snap reaction was to be an asshole. Why was that? It's just a simple piece of information that you have that they don't have. You could just give them the information. It's an easy slam dunk. Now one more person knows this information. So when the next person asks it, you can think, what an idiot. But then that other guy you taught it to can tell them the answer. You see that? The majority of people don't know shit about fighting games. And so helping them, you know, it's just one more person who's interested in the scene or the game or whatever. If you're bad at fighting games, you should talk about it and engage in the way that you think. Talking through your thought process as a new player is really good because, look, I make lots of beginner and intermediate content, but hearing a new player's issues really helps you curate your teaching for them. I tend to keep my stuff super simple and try to explain it in the easiest way I can think of so that people, even if they're brand new, can sort of conceptually grasp it. I think it's very easy to just feel like you're not good enough to talk about games or play other people or whatever it is. And like the reality is, you know, everybody's been new. Everybody's been a beginner at that point. We all know what it's like. Another thing I read in there that I thought was good was, if you're first starting out, people will tell you stuff like, hey, Soul bad guy is easy. So if you want to play Guilty Gear, play Soul and just do special moves. And you play the game and you're like dying. And you're like, this isn't easy at all. I'm getting beat up. The game is difficult. You don't know what the fuck's happening, right? Everything's hard because you're just brand new. It's the same thing that happened. Like Leffen was trying to learn the game and he picked Johnny. People were like, first of all, don't pick Johnny. He's too hard, right? And Leffen's like, I think Johnny looks cool. I'm going to play him. Then the next thing that happened is he was playing online. It's like his first time playing Exerd. And he's losing, and people are like, how are you losing with Johnny? He's like the best character in the game. Like, are you like awful? And it's like, yes, this is his first time ever playing. Do you guys use that brain of yours and just think for a second? Anyway, here's the deal. I've read a lot of people say, yeah, this is the problem with scrub quotes. And scrub quotes is bad. It's gatekeeping people into starting fighting games. It's like them being elitist. It's them being assholes, etc. And I read that, and I think some people on the surface would be like, yeah, scrub quotes are just mean to new players. I have news for you. There's a big difference between a scrub and a beginner. In fact, the two things are not related at all. The relation between them is not skill level. The difference between someone being a beginner or a new player and a scrub is attitude. When you look at a scrub quotes, does it say, I don't understand. How do I get past this move? You have to jump. Oh, thanks. That's not what it is. Scrub quotes are about attitude. It's about people who are indifferent to anything but their own loss and will come up with any kind of force field or barrier they can put in front of themselves to remove themselves from that. That's what a scrub quote is about. In fact, most scrub quotes are not from beginners. Being new does not make you a scrub. And not only that, being experienced doesn't not make you a scrub. You can be incredibly experienced and be a scrub. You can be a world-class player and be a scrub. A scrub will say that the sun was in their eye, your character's broken, it's an unwinnable matchup, they tech that, lag, you're a zoning cheater, you don't play by the same rules as me. They will come up with an excuse as to why you beat them that is not their own skill level. That's a scrub. New players, beginner players are not scrubs because they're not even in that headspace yet. They're just like, how do I block if he jumps over my head? What do you even call that? You guys call that a jump head over other side? And we're like, yes. The way to block a jump head over other side is hold away. Now you got to hold back on the other side. No one's going to make fun of that guy. And if you do make fun of that guy, you're just a piece of shit and no one thinks you're good and you're not special. You're a medium-sized fish in a very large pond and you're not very good. And everybody thinks you suck. And your breath smells. The thing about scrub quotes is there's a sense of unification in them. When you see them, you're like, oh boy, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to act in that kind of way. There are lots and lots of people clearly who are not afraid to ask questions as new players, right? If scrub quotes is gatekeeping some of them, it is probably in the sense that they're afraid to come across in that way. And if they are afraid to come across in that way, it's probably because they're acting like something in the tweet. Or because they're genuinely concerned that no matter what they say, people won't take them serious because they're new. I think that there is a lot of merit in, hey, if you're new, tell people what you struggle with. There's a good chance that whatever you struggle with is A, easily solvable and someone can help you, or B, genuinely hard to deal with even if you're good, so you shouldn't feel bad struggling with it. Yeah, and also I've seen lots of people say, I'm mad pissed about what just happened and I caught myself mid-scrub quote. I don't want to be that guy even when I'm mad. And I was like, that is a good point of reflection. I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to say this dumb thing. What would scrub quotes do? It's an interesting thing to think about though. I do think a lot of new players just think scrubs are anybody who's new. That is not the case. And if you didn't know that, that's an important thing to understand. In fact, I think it's very difficult to be new and be a scrub. I think you have to have at least a little bit of experience. Like when you're brand new, you don't have like a place to stand and sprout your scrub quotes from. Like you're just like, me not know what's happening. One thing that'll help you become much better at fighting games is when somebody hits you with something, recognize and admit when it's genuinely good. Or try to understand what they were thinking right there and be like, damn, yep. He was right. It'll get you a long way. Also, if you're a streamer, it makes you 1,000,000 times more watchable. A scrub is a guy who thinks he's fine, who's also known as a buster. Yeah. He's sitting in the passenger side of his best friend's ride. He's trying to holler at me. But the only way I'm going to see any of his hollering is via scrub quotes. I'm not going to engage otherwise. Controversial take, but I think Mike Ross pushed me to be more scrubby than I should have been after watching him. If you ever watch his stream, sure, he gets salty sometimes, but he'll be like, damn, all right. On Excellent Adventures, it was real extra. Who's the best scrub I know? I'm trying to think who scrub quotes the most, who's a top-level player. There's a lot I have in my mind, but I don't think I'll say them. I think the chat will say them before I have to, and then I can just nod. Listen. The worst subsection of humans are the fighting game fans who are like, Sajam played TFH, what's wrong with him? The fuck you mean what's wrong with me? It's a fighting game. You don't like the art style because they're animals? Who gives a shit? You're watching hentai in your parents' basement, and then on the other monitor you got my stream, and you're like, how could he? And you close the tab on me? Get a fucking grip on your life. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the fire outro clip, boss. No problem.